I have no control. Well, hello, hello. Happy Thursday night, everyone. We are so blessed and welcome all of you here today. I have with me Dr. Michael Gross. He has an amazing message for you today. So go ahead, Michael, and say a few words to these wonderful people that are joining us right now, and then I'll introduce you, okay?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. Something exciting I wish to discuss with you. It's called Your Other Side, and it's going to be very empowering. And you're
Cool.
going to understand why I desire to discuss this with you and share it with you. So, thank you for joining me, and thank you for joining to you and listening to our message that we share with you this evening.
I look forward to these messages every week, Michael. I love the fact that you do them every Thursday night at 7. So I'll just let everybody know that Dr. Michael Gross is a professional keynote speaker, entrepreneur, energy transformational coach, and the author of the Spiritual Primer, applying God's 12 transformational laws to reawaken your soul by reconnecting to God, the true source, to experience your true source's love, joy, and happiness. Michael comes to us with over 30 years of experience in many different fields of this spiritual realm, I guess I'll call it. And he has done so much in my world. I have gone, I feel like I'm blossoming into a beautiful pink rose that, uh, thanks to Michael, he's worked really diligently and really hard on getting me to this point. So, uh, for over 30 years, Michael has been a spiritual teacher, a multidimensional healer, transformational coach, who's exceptionally skilled in all aspects of soul, oversoul, vibrations, frequencies, energies, body timing, life force energies, and so much more. He holds many degrees, which include the Doctorate of Alternative Healing Psychology. He's a Reiki master teacher, doctoral therapist, and so much more that you can find out more on his website, drmichaelgross.com. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put all his contact information in the comments so that I highly encourage everybody uh, to get the information and connect with Michael because he's changing lives every day. And in our world of chaos today, we really truly need somebody like Michael on our side, right? So
Thank you.
you're welcome, Michael. I'm going to just mute myself out and put the contact information in, okay?
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And the subject that I desire to speak with you about, calling Your Other Side. And I want to address this in several different ways. And so when we talk about your other side, we're talking about your ego and the human side of you. And it's really important for you to understand that. And I would like you to just understand that your body is housing, or as my friend, one of my students said, affordable housing for your soul, for your soul. And I'd like to explain that a little bit more. When you incarnate, of course, your soul goes into the fetus, which is a body, whether you're male or female. And the reason you chose that is because you chose the experience of learning what it feels like to feel a breeze across your face or body, what the rain feels like, what the warmth sun feels like, even in areas where you have sun or wind or rain or snow in other areas. Whatever you chose that. So your body is a receptor of all the emotional feelings that's going in on your body. And so your body has emotional feelings. And when I talk about your emotional feelings, when you're excited or angry or whatever, your heart begins to pick up speed and pump a little more. Your brain goes into high gear, so to speak, and you start thinking about all these things. And then the endorphins and hormones and glands are all secreting different feelings and emotions. What I'd like you to understand is that it's probably easier to look at it this way. Look at your home as your body. It's empty. And then you walk into your home and there you are. And look at that as the soul. So as you are attached to your home, you have your accoutrements and things you like and beautiful things, and you clean your house every so often, and you probably paint the exterior, interior, and you buy new furniture or whatever you do. And you store your memories there, your clothing, and all those things. So within your body, that's what you're doing. When you shower, of course, You're like cleaning your body on the exterior. When you meditate, which is very important, you begin to understand why you're here. You get messages from your soul. So you are part of your body, yet separate. Because you see, as a soul, the soul doesn't know what hot is, doesn't know what cold is, does not even know what pain is. And you're probably wondering why. Because your soul is comprised of one frequency, energy, and vibration called love. That's it. Just unconditional love. Where does it emanate from? Your soul is part of the true source. You are an extension of the true source. Or some of you might want to hear the word God, the true source. Whatever, makes you happy, but they're synonymous when I use those two. So there are over 360 names for God, and one of them I prefer to use the word true source, and I will tell you why. I've mentioned this many times in the past, but not recently. When I first got on my path and I worked for my guides and guardian angels and angels, the archangels, and so on and so forth. And when I connected on a higher level with what I call the true source, I said, "Are you God?" And the answer I got, well, I don't like the word God. Why? Well, Hitler said God is on my side. Mussolini said God's on my side. Napoleon said God's on my side. All the despots said God's on my side. And all these things that are going on. And you can use that, Michael, but I really like the word true source, which is beautiful. So in my languaging, God gets a bad rap. Everybody thinks God's going to punish them, you're going to go to hell, you're going to go this, and all these things. And I want to clear this up. True source is unconditionally loving, allowing, and non-judgmental. Jesus and many Buddha and other avatars all taught that true source is forgiving, unconditional love, allowingness, and non-judgmental. So why would a loving God, a true source, create a place to punish you? Where did that come from? How is that? And why do we believe that? And that's that other side of you. Religiosity is wonderful in some respects because it teaches you a moral code, but also limits you. And I would say that all those that teach that, whatever religiosity you are, they mean well. They're not trying to create a subterfuge. But there's a soul part of you that knows that's not true. As a young boy said, who was what they call a starseed, there's no such thing as hell and brimfire and fire, because you have to have a body to feel fire and brimfire, punishment, knives, swords, whatever they do there. Who knows? It doesn't exist because you don't have a body. You can't feel pain. You can't be burnt up. So that's some of the fallacies that we've been taught. I'm sure there were some good reasons and some ulterior motives. So I'm not condemning religion. I'm pointing out some of the little things that are misled in religion. And again, I want to reiterate those that talk about it mean well. So here you are, and the other side of you, meaning your body, experiencing life, experiencing the emotions of life. And that's what you're really experiencing, the emotions of life. So you have ups and downs, and you feel good, you feel bad, you feel angry, you feel that they don't like you or love you or they punish you or whatever is going on. And this is all about the karma you came in to learn. Again, to reiterate, karma is nothing but an experience, not a punishment. It's an experience to you to learn. The second part of that is dharma with a D, like in David, and that's for the good deeds you've done in past lives, you'll be rewarded. But you have free will and free choice. Let's say you came here on this planet to make great changes, and you turned out to be a Scrooge and greedy and angry and controlling and manipulative. That's free will and free choice. That's something you chose to experience. And if you don't learn that lesson, what you chose to experience, there's no punishment, except when you birth out of your body, you die, and there is a life review, and you feel every emotion that anybody you've ever figuratively speaking touch. You feel the joy, the happiness, the wonderful, that's the appreciation, the love. Then you feel the pain, anxiety, and other emotions. And you go, I got to learn to do this right. I'm going to come back, make it hard enough so I can learn how I hurt other people. I can understand how they feel hurt. Now, why would you do that? Because you're just surrounding with love, period, love energy. And then when you come in the physical body, you feel all these different emotions. This is really great. And that's how we're learning. Now, on that other side of you, it's like there's a knock at the door. Hello, 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 are you there? We want to awaken you about what life is truly about, what your soul is truly about, how you're controlled and manipulated by your ego, and understanding about self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem. Oh, gee, Michael, every time I hear you talk, you always bring that up. Yes, I do. And it comes in all different flavors and colors. Self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem. It's all about establishing truly about finding that you are worthy. Everything and anything that exists in your human world, you are worthy of that experience. You can open the door and experience it. You can put it off. You can learn it another lifetime, or you can get it all done with it now. But you know, so many times, I remember I used to be in a nursing home business, and I had one of my clients, and she had breast cancer, and she said, "Why is God punishing me? Why is God punishing me?" And you know, had a little conversation with her to help her understand that you know God's not punishing her; it's an experience she chose. Well, you have to couch it in a very special way. And, you know, when you're in pain and you're thinking you might die and die of cancer, you certainly don't want to hear that. So, exactly what I said, that you're loved, you're learning about more love, and this is just a temporary, you know, hill for you to climb. And once you climb that little hill, you're going to be fine and you're going to live and you're not going to have any more cancer because they're going to remove the lumps in your breast. And short story, you know, her family had abandoned her. So I told her I would be there when she came out of recovery, and I made sure I was there. I talked to her. She came back to the nursing home, and I don't know how long she lived because about 4 or 5 years later, I sold the nursing home. Hopefully, she lived a long life, but her life was pretty happy and very good. So, understanding all those things, that's an experience she chose. Well, why should she chose such a painful, threatening experience? The answer is I don't know. You choose your experiences and the degree and level that is for you to learn your lesson. So, whatever you've chosen to do, you do. But more importantly, this is a beautiful thought that is occurring. This earth that we talk about, this old, beautiful earth, is going through a transformation. And if you're going to reincarnate, you will no longer be able to reincarnate on this planet as this is, because this old planet is going through that change and it will cease to exist. So, would you go to a new earth if there is such a thing? And I believe there will be. Yes. Or maybe another solar system or whatever. Now, you may think this is far out, and that's okay to think that way if that is far out and it's woo woo. The truth of the matter is, I always say to everyone, don't reject it, don't accept it. Let's see what happens. Just be open. What you think you create, what you create, you experience. And what I desire for you to understand is that the other side of you, this side that's fear and doubtful and angry and upset, that side of you, your ego, the fear, the doubt, the insecurity, is perpetuating it because of your anger and belief. And it comes down to be feeling unworthy. So you keep doing it over and over again. Well, I had one client said, why am I attracting all these negative people? Why? Because you have to learn to set up boundaries. Once you set up boundaries and say, no, I'm not going there, then it will cease to exist. It's like, haven't you got it right? Okay, we'll do it again. Have you got it right? No, we'll do it again and again and again and again. And the answer, part of the answer is, well, I can't disappoint my friends. Oh, so they can put you down, disappoint you, but you can't do it to them. This is not a tit for tat. It's actually realizing your own value and your own worthiness. To you, you wanted to say something.
I do. I have a huge question because, like you were saying, why is, and my question is, why is it that we continue to go down the same road, knowing that there's a hole in the middle of the road that we fall into, and yet every time we get out, we think to ourselves, okay, I'll navigate around that hole next time, yet we still keep falling in. Is there a reason why we keep doing that instead of just taking a different road? It seems so easily to, just do that.
Well, yes, that's a good question. And the answer is, of course, you don't, number one, you don't feel worthy. You don't love yourself to want to make a change. You don't feel that you can make the change. And self worth, I don't deserve to have good things because I'm not a good person or something like that. So self worth, self love, and self esteem, those are the three that helps you to can recreate it, recreate it, recreate it, recreate it, recreate it. And it's like enough is enough. You're done already. You don't have to recreate it anymore unless you so desire. And that's why we're here to make those changes, to take that leap of faith. That's why you're here to do that. Until you do it, you're going to repeat, 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 repeat.
Okay.
And no one's making you repeating it except that your ego. You're not worthy. Nothing good's going to happen. This or that. And once you believe it by the law of manifestation, what you think you create, you experience. So you've heard this, but the other phrase is, of course, is that True Source was telling me, are you a slave of your fears, a master of your life? And obviously, if you recreate it, you're a slave of your fears. I don't see any chains around you. I don't see any whips around you. I don't see anybody tying you down. It's your ego and your fear that's tying you down. Tia, you wanted to say something.
Yes, I do. One of the comments in here is she says, I'm not happy to come back and I hope I don't. How would you address that mindset?
Well, thank you for that beautiful comment. Right now, you feel all the pain, the anxiety, and hate, and so on. By immediately saying that, that means there's unfinished business, unfinished work that you haven't done. By that very fact, you are going to come back. And here's your ego. No, I'm not. Rah, 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 rah. But when you birth out of your body and you have a life review and you're surrounded with all this love, and then you go into what I call R&R to get it used to your soul body again, and you're surrounded with your love and you take a look. Oh, now I understand why I did this. Yeah, that really blocked myself from being so empowered and embracing all this loving and wonderful energy. You're going to say, I feel good now. I'm going to do this again. So there's no such thing as linear time. We created it on this planet and in other solar systems, I'm sure. They've recreated it. But when you're in your, what we call your soul body, everything is currently happening, the past, the present, and the future. Well, that's pretty hard to understand, isn't it? The future is created by your thoughts. So actually, the thoughts become a living energy, and you have free will to change your thoughts. The present is whatever is occurring at the moment. The past is that when you're looking at all these things, oh, the reason I became an alcoholic is because that life of time I just didn't feel worthy or good about myself. So you're experiencing everything simultaneously, but in a very loving, positive way. Wow, I created those things. Did I learn a great deal? Now I understand. I'm so empowered. This is so beautiful. It's like someone who had, let's say, an infection on their finger. And I'll use myself, I had an infection on my finger, and there was a sliver, and I didn't want to pull it out. It was painful. It got worse and worse and worse and worse. My finger blew up like 3 times its size. So painful, I accidentally hit it, and all the pus and everything popped out. I was able to pull out the sliver, and I went, if I had done this a week ago, I wouldn't have gone through this pain. Wow, why didn't I do it? But now I learned something new. So every experience is something new. Whether you're buying a diamond, a Rolex, or you're going to dinner, or you had a painful, in your opinion, experience, you've gained new knowledge and power. Knowledge is power. Power is knowledge. Knowledge is something that you share within yourself, and then you share it with your family. How do you share it? You don't have to verbalize it. They'll see you change. They'll observe you changing. And they may not admit it. That's where the ego, oh, how come they don't see a difference in me? Because I'm blah, blah, blah. There goes your ego. No self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem. You don't have to prove anything to anybody, only to yourself. That's all you have to do. And now you're being asked, because the energy on the planet, let go of all that garbage, let go of that other side of me, the fearful, the doubt, the lack of self-worth, self-esteem, the lack of unworthiness, the lack of fear. Let it go and just embrace love and see what happens. So the average person, well, I tried. How long did you try? Well, I tried for a couple hours, nothing happened. Oh, what were you thinking? Well, I thought it might not work. Uh-huh. You see what you created? Pretty powerful. So, Tio, go ahead. You want to say something, or somebody else?
Actually, that was the comment that we had, and I think more than anything, it's like when I think about walking down that same road over and over and over again, which is what I did for so many years, I felt like, well, that's my comfort zone. I know I'm going to fall into the hole, but at least I'm used to it. And taking a different road is scary. So I don't want to take that scary road. I'll just keep falling in because I know eventually I come back around.
Right.
So how do we get over that?
Well, here's what another example of that. So I put a 200-pound backpack on your back, and I said you got to carry it for a year. So you carried it for a year, and you adjusted to it, and now it's there. And then I say, okay, you're cool. Take off the backpack. And you go, something's wrong with my back. Doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right. I want the backpack back on. But it was 200 pounds. You started getting curvature of spine. I know, but I felt comfortable with it. I don't know what I'm going to do without it. Using that bizarre example, but it isn't really bizarre. It's like when you make up your mind that I'm not going to live this way, I'm going to bring love and joy and happiness into my life. And I always use the word perfect life. So, really, what does perfect mean? Take a roll of toilet paper, 250 sheets, I guess they say at Costco, and write 250 things that need to be changed. Well, maybe you can't think of 250, but I have to tell you, I call it, the laundry list or toilet list. That's what you're making, because it really deserves to be in the toilet, because it's all your fears and doubt. When you say your perfect life, what does that encompass? Your soul knows more than you. Everything that brings you love and joy and happiness. You just get out of your own way. As the true source said, be in control is to be out of control, which is like an oxymoron, but it allows you to attract and experience everything in your life. Been there. Okay, I'll try something new. Okay, I'll try something new. No failure. You're just experiencing different facets of the same thing. So when you say, I want a perfect life, you don't have to enumerate. It's got to have this and this and this and this and this. You're going to miss something. Let it all evolve, because you came here knowing that everything would be loving, caring, and perfect. And somehow you got off the path. You took a left hand turn when you should have gone straight, or a right hand turn, whatever you want to call it. That's the other side of you. What is the other side? Fear, doubt, and insecurities, lack of self worth, self love, and self esteem. And though I talk to people, and you're beautiful souls, you get it. And within 3 days, you fall into the same trap. Then you get angry and frustrated. Or you may get angry and frustrated at me. The only one who's in control of your life to bring love and joy and happiness is you. Listen to the thoughts of your soul. And I found out when I say that, well, I don't hear any voices. Yeah, you're right, you know. Just follow what they call the gut feeling, your intuitive feeling. So you know when it feels right. You know exactly. I talk to people, and they've gotten a divorce, and I said, well, did you know that you're going to get a divorce? Well, I didn't know if he or she was really right, but I thought it would work out. Mm-hmm. So your soul already told you, danger, 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 but you overrode it. So that was the experience you chose. Don't beat yourself up. Just go ahead. But if you get mad, remember, When you're angry with someone, you're angry at yourself for putting yourself in that position. These are the thoughts I would like to have you all consider over this coming week. Number one is that you've created everything in your life to empower you. Number two, you can change anything that is challenging, not bad, challenging. And what you desire to say, well, I've got to change this. What have I learned from it? Keyword, what have I learned from it? Okay. And acknowledge that and give thanks for it. And then move on and change those things that you need to change. And so is your life going to change? Yeah. Are you going to go into the toilet, be destitute and poor, lose all relationships? Yeah, if you want to. If you don't desire to, then it's not going to happen. Will some people fade out of my life, some friends and family? Maybe. But you don't want to be part of their game plan because misery loves company. So they like to invite you and have you experience their misery because they feel empowered. It's like a soap opera. Why do people watch soap operas? Because it was so bad and soapy that they felt better. But really, it's just a psychological thing. What I desire for all of you to remember is that there's the other side of you that is your soul, that is full of love. Every night, ask to embrace that unconditional love from the true source and embrace soul inner guidance. That's all. No expectations, no attachments. It may take you a month to do it before you notice a difference. Could be 3 months, but here's the secret. When you desire something, you ask for something, bang, it's there. It's your ego that blocks it. I want to thank all of you for joining me, and I'd like to share some additional things with you. So, every Tuesday evening, I have Soul Awakening that goes to 6:30 p.m. Pacific Time to 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time. You ask any question on spirituality, hopefully I can answer it, and then I deliver a 10-minute message to you. Give them that information. It's called freeconferencecall.com, Soul Awakening.
Absolutely. That number on Tuesday night is 202-926-1059. And the access code, Michael?
125-446-pound.
One more time on the number. It's 202-926-1059. And the code, Michael?
125-446-pound. Now, using that same telephone number, same access code, the second Saturday of every month at 9:55 a.m. Pacific Time to 11:01 Pacific Time. It's called the Mass Consciousness Healing. And what it is, we talk for a few minutes, then you actually embody your true self, and you will be embodying true source's unconditional love. You will feel the union of it, and then you'll be a conduit of it to touch this planet, the animal, mineral, and vegetable kingdom. Everything is alive. Everything has intelligence. Everything is energy. And you'll be amazed how things will change, especially these days where there's so much division coming up and fear and doubt. And it will start off your month magnificently. And it's like you got a car and you got a full tank of gas, you can go anywhere. And just embellish it and imbue it and feel it. And you get your next refill on the next second Saturday of every month. And give him that information.
Okay, that Saturday, second Saturday of the month is the same number as the Tuesday night call-in. And that number is 202-926-1059. And the code, Michael?
125-446-pound. Perfect. All right, so I invite all of you. Now, on Thursday, of course, we have our podcast from 7 to 7:30 p.m. And what is beautiful about that, you can go to Dr. Michael, initial B, like in boy, Gross, and you can see the replays of these wonderful podcasts. Also, when you go to YouTube, there's some motivational thoughts that I've shared, and we have an award-winning photographer named Tio Knapp, and their quote is right on her picture, or photograph, I should say, and there'll be a little audio information about that. That's the next thing I'd like to discuss. So please take advantage of this. Now, I mentioned that there's a 10-minute little message on Tuesday evening. And we have almost 362 or 3. And let me give you that number. So there's a telephone number, and we'd like you to write it down. Please give them that number to you.
It's 434-300-4170. And access code, Michael.
125-446-pound. One more time.
434-300-4170. And the code, Michael?
125-446-pound. Now, I said there's about 363, and they start off with the number 3. What number would you like to listen to? As the phone service says, got to find the right word. And they are not listed. And many of you know have been following me. I forgot to list what they are. And the true source said, no, you didn't forget. You weren't supposed to do it. I said, why? Michael, you want to read 363 labels? No. So this is where you have to listen to the thoughts of the soul. What number feels right? I think number 227. And then you play it. Just what I desire to hear. Just what I needed to hear. Whatever number you choose. Stuck in traffic, you're angry. Listen on the phone. Listen on your car. Whatever you're going to do. Or you got some spare time. Just listen to it. And you'll be amazed at how much it'll help you. Take advantage of it. It's really important. And it's important for all of you. We thank you for following us. But share this with others. What's my motivation? To empower all of you. To awaken you from the deep sleep. To help you do your spiritual mission and goals. Which is one of the reasons why you're here. Please share it. And please join us every Saturday, the second Saturday of every month, to help us make a difference. Well, there's something else I wish to share, and that is this wonderful book. If I can get it in, there we go, by T.U. Knapp. And this beautiful book is Healing the Holes in Your Soul, written by T.U. Knapp. And by now, you know, it's my favorite person that did the foreword. This is a story about a woman who rose from the ashes, out of the gutter, out of the sewer, into life, into joy. And it's very motivational. It's very healing. Because there's something in this book we can all appreciate that we've experienced. Maybe not to the depth she has, but it is empowering and helps you all. So take advantage of this. Remember, this will help change your life.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you very much for those kind words. And I highly recommend everybody start right here with this beautiful book called The Spiritual Primer by Dr. Michael Gross, who wrote the foreword in the book that he's holding. Because had it not been for him and this wonderful book, that book that he's holding wouldn't even be around. And I wanted to just thank you one more time from the deepest parts of my heart and my soul, Michael, because in my world, this book and our friendship together is priceless. Everything that you've taught me has totally changed my life and helped me move forward to be that person I've always known I was, but I was always too afraid to show the world who I really was. So now it's coming out, and I'm truly, truly honored and blessed that you spend so much time with us here on Thursday night and all the other things that you do with us. So highly recommend it. And Michael, would you tell the people what you also offer them?
Absolutely. So I want to share all this with you. And for those who are joining us, I offer a 30-minute complimentary session. So take advantage of it. T.U. is listed my private cell number. It's also listed on my face that you're looking at. And take advantage. I'm not going to sell you anything. I will sum it up. If I can be any of assistance, let me know. And all you have to say, okay, or don't say a word. Because I operate 99.9% of the time, no expectations, no attachments. I'm here to awaken your soul, help you heal. And if you want to have me assist you, fine. You want to do it another way? Fine, it's okay. Unconditional love, non-judgmentalness, and compassion. And that's what I practice, and I try very hard to do. And I will tell you, I'm more successful at it than I thought I would be. Unconditionally loving, allowing, and non-judgmental. Because I know each one of you have chosen a path to grow and learn. Some are arduous, some aren't, but it makes no difference because you are getting out of the jungle into the sun, and that's what's so important. So thank you all for joining us. I wish you a wonderful week. I wish you joy and happiness. And remember, you are unlimited. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you. We love you. Thank you, Michael.
Love you. Thank you to you.
Welcome.